Oh boy. Oh boy. I couldn't wait to wake up this morning to talk about this movie. And everybody's gotta watch this movie. And this movie is in the 112 Dirtbags playlist. That's right. And man, I'm just blown away by it. I got two thoughts and theories of why this is in the 112 Dirtbags playlist. Two thoughts and theories. And there was another movie I want to show real quick that I thought I could have sworn I seen in the 112 Dirtbags playlist. But this had came up, The Trials of Oscar Wilde. And, oh boy. But I gotta go back, and it was weird how I got this movie to come up. Like I said, going in to this, oh my God, this 112 Dirtbags playlist is just as insane as the story. And just as insane as everything else that I've been looking up. I'm in the shed today. But I like it in the dark. I like doing lots of things in the dark. Just like in my last video that's coming up. But, it is insane what has, came about in this movie, this particular movie right here. Malcolm McDowell's in it, and what a portrayed awesome actorness that he performs in this movie. And I tell you, and it can go two ways of why this 112 Dirtbag has this in his playlist. Two ways. And anyways, and I can see why he has it in his playlist. And for those of you that watch this and don't understand it, well, I'll have to break it down. But you do have to watch this movie in its full entirety to get the concept that I'm getting. I beg anybody to watch this video being in the 112 Dirtbags playlist. Anybody, I recommend to watch it. So you can understand what I'm going to break down. Because, of course, I can't go watching the whole movie here. And it is a 1 hour movie in so many minutes. But you got to watch it to understand it. Now, I want to say one thing is, I wasn't going to say, no, I can't say A Clockwork Orange has anything to do with the 112 Dirtbag, but A Clockwork Orange, and that's why I take lightly into this movie, because Malcolm McDowell is such an awesome actor. And I haven't watched all his movies besides, A Clockwork Orange. Now this one, of course, the Halloween film that Rob Zombie put him in. I'm gonna watch something else, but I can't remember what the hell it was. No, I didn't. I mean, I was mesmerized by him in A Clockwork Orange. I did see that at a very young age. And there's one thing in the movie I do not like. I despise it. But, it was how it was portrayed, and it needed to be in that film of some sort. But it was the rape scenes. I don't watch the rape scenes. I would never be able to do that type of, torture, I call it, on someone's brain and scar that, but even think about it turns my stomach and makes me sick. But everything else in that movie, it reminds me of people, the bullies, and the people I met throughout my life that I hate their effing guts. And everything that he does in that movie, other than the rape scenes, I'd love to do to people that I despise, that I can't stand, especially people like the 112 dirtbag. So I mean, that movie inspires me of that and nothing else. Not the innocent like Malcolm played and, did what he did in the movie, but you gotta admit that was another masterpiece of his. This is a masterpiece of its own. And these parts that he plays, and if he was to continue, and I'm sure there's more movies out there I gotta look into. I think maybe there was a TV show. I am coming up with something in my head, but I can't remember. It was something else he did, but this guy I loved. He's a good actor. This you'll enjoy. It is way ahead of its time. Now, why I think why it's on the 112 Dirtbags playlist. I hate when the screen does this. My thoughts and theories of why this is in his playlist. And let me show you again. I'll have to go back and show you. I want to show this. Has to be shown. Where the hell did it go? Right here. Oh, and this one, the birthday one. Oh, man. I didn't get to this. Oh, yes, I got to this one. In these two movies, well, this is a show or something. This, Winter's Bone, Our Time, is another reason why I gotta show why he has this on his playlist. Yes. Oh, there it is. The Collection. And that is by Harold Pinter, which this TV show is Pinter's The Birthday Party. And in this writer's movies, director's debut and stuff of this portrayals of these people is why I think the 112 Dirtbag has this in his playlist. So, then I can't wait to get down here to Winter's Bone. Of course, if anybody sees it before I get it out. And this one I'm going to go over on the birthday. That one, I don't even know what the hell is that unless I didn't watch all four of them. But he's only got one. And the other three I haven't watched yet. But this, I can see why it's on the 112 Dirtbags playlist. And if you do not have the mind, say so like me and the 112 Dirtbag, of course, you're going to watch this and not understand it. Because now we'll get into the real nitty gritty. And before I watched this, talked about in my video 112 Dirtbag and love. Because there is that page that comes up. Maura Murray loves me. And that's it. That's all on the page. I covered it. Whoops. I showed it. And so forth. Hey, I got my ugly puss down there. I was taking a screenshot. But, so this movie portrays a phone call in the beginning. Phone call, this man right here, this gentleman in the suit, calling for Mr. McDowell. And McDowell is living with an older gentleman. He claims at the end of the movie when he's talking to this guy in the suit that, he's been a he's calling him in English terms, a real troublemaker. Let's just say a troublemaker. And he's explaining it to this guy, which leads this guy to believe in all sincerity, at the end of the movie, he believed this guy of what happened with McDowell to be true. But before I get into any details and the love that I think of the 112 dirtbag that I predicted of my own thoughts and theories rolls out in this film. Now, this gentleman's trying to get a hold of Malcolm McDowell. Like I said, these are my thoughts and theories of why I think the love part of the 112 dirtbag exists. An obsession with Maura Murray. Now let's go back and get into the fact that Maura Murray supposedly was searching for rooms to rent. Alright? Then you got the disappearance because she was on her way, like I said, maybe to meet somebody. Maybe. That's why she was going around, like I said in my last video, trying to find a room to rent. And if it ever was to become true that this Alden Olson was obsessed with Maura Murray, like I say, fake paged her on the internet because he knew what she looked like, knew her name, knew everything because he was on the alumni to Amherst College of where she worked and went, and stalking her. And for him to put this movie up would kind of make sense in two ways. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this comment, if someone is calling me not very smart, and then they go up here and say I wouldn't, I would tread very lightly if I were you. I forgot to mention this in my last video about the comment here. You know what this is in regards to. If I'm not so very smart, why is someone leaving comments like this unless I'm on the brakes or I have said something that is making them uneased? Am I making you uneased? Because I'm coming up with thoughts and theories that has never been found or never been thought of. And I'm making you uneased because maybe I'm coming closer to cracking something because of poor detective work or because the cops just ain't got no more to think of on this case. Whatever it may be. But back to this. So, why would I think this has something to do with Maura Murray? Because in the beginning of the film, it's just what I just said, Maura Murray looking for a room. And the 112 dirtbag's got this sick, demented mind. Oh, she loves me. I love her. We gotta have a love relationship. But, twist and turn. The guy getting ripped, I forget his name. There's one name I cannot remember because that is one name that is very, very distinctively forgetful. And I don't use the word all the time. But, like I said in my other video, what if the 112 dirtbag did not like what he seen with the gentleman that he could maybe hit and ran over, and got Maura Murray in the mix of it? That's right. Oh, everybody thinks she hit the guy because she was so drunk. But let alone, how do you know the 112 dirtbag didn't hit that guy, right? Because he got jealous, because he saw them talking. And maybe he had this sick fantasy that he was going to meet her. But then he killed the wrong guy, found out someone else she's trying to meet. All in all, the tracker idea, there could have been a tracker on her car. That's why if she was coming down from the workplace, going to the bar, and he had already stalked this guy, chased him somehow out of the bar, because maybe he was going to go meet Maura outside and walk her in the bar like a gentleman does. But the 112 dirtbag, or so say, whoever, quote, did it, chased that man down, ran him over, killed her. Killed her. He did kill her. Kill him. And all of a sudden, just because she was coming to the bar, she was the one that got that blame. Leads me to this. So she's going to meet somebody, and already she's a victim of a stalker that's well known of her awareness of where she is, where she's going, blah, blah, blah. And what perfect opportunity to snag her and get her while she just had an accident. But put in your mind that the motel room was being searched. And then all of a sudden, right, you got the ticket holder of 2 days later of the resort. Maybe she had a room there. Maybe somehow found out she had a room there somehow. And maybe spooked it out of her when they kidnapped her. Whoever kidnapped her, huh? I was going here, what do you want to know for? So he went to that loft, to make a mockery of it. I was here 2 days later, your anniversary, she's dead, and you can't have her, whoever was gonna go meet her. So that leads me right here to this. So in all this crazy fabrication story, ludicrous in the mind, you say. Why would he say this? And why would this guy have this friggin' movie on his playlist? Now, one, he either did what I just said, or two, he wanted it to be portrayed this way and use this movie as like maybe an innocent. This is just a fabrication, and this is just fantasy, as this guy is really into. Two thoughts and theories. Either he did it the way I said it, or he's putting this movie up to make it look this way. And the movie is, and I advise you to watch it, this gentleman here is looking for Malcolm McDowell. Because supposedly this gentleman's wife told him that he had an affair with a gentleman. And it became out to be Malcolm McDowell. So he gets into the house and he's trying to get a hold of him. And, he calls the older gentleman I speak of that's living with Malcolm McDowell, answers the phone at 4 a.m. The guy comes home from a party and he's claiming all this. Malcolm will know me. I'll just use their real names. But I forgot what the guy's name was with the suit, but he said, Malcolm here will know me. I need to talk to him. And the older gentleman keeps telling him why, asking him, why. He won't tell him, I'll just see him tomorrow. So tomorrow comes, and the old man is talking to Malcolm at the couch. Talking about, this person called you. He said, I don't know. I didn't meet nobody. I don't know no gentleman. And they're going through this whole long conversation. And he says, all right. And it got to kind of a I gotta go type thing. And you don't know what he's talking about. Then the phone rings again. Malcolm then answers it. The guy's talking to him. He says, oh, I'm going to be there. Wait there. I'm coming over. I don't know you. Who are you? What are you calling me for? Blah, blah, blah. So he says, all right. He don't want to deal with it. It sounds freaky to Malcolm. Gets his coat on, leaves. Few minutes, second later, whatever, few minutes later, the guy come knock on the door. The old gentleman's there. He said he had just left, blah, blah, blah. Well, when they finally meet, and Malcolm is ready to shut him out and with the door in his face, and they finally meet. Now remember this clearly. Remember what I just said about the whole motel thing and meeting with Maura Murray. Supposedly, this gentleman puts his foot in the door and says, I'm coming in. Pretty much he forces his way in. And he goes on to this, you were doing this and you were doing that type thing. And it all had to do with his wife, and his wife told him. Supposedly, he got this story from his wife, and Malcolm's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then all of a sudden it like kicks in his brain. And then they're going back and forth. They won't say I did this, as Malcolm would say, and do this, and la 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 la. And they get into this piss match type thing. By all said and done of the conversation, they have a drink in their hand, and the guy overpowers Malcolm and makes him fall back on an ottoman. He spills his drink, and then, gets over top of him like he's gonna pounce him. And I ain't gonna say what the gentleman says, but I am gonna say this, that Malcolm goes on to tell him supposedly what happened at a motel room. And they talk of 2 rooms. You were in 142, and you ended up in 153. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. You got to watch the rest to get the whole story. But in my mind, when it's all said and done, and what I'm putting together about the motel room and searching, the other man, the man looking for this man, Malcolm, because he thinks, and he's got it in his head, and he was told that Malcolm had slept with his wife. I mean, that's all I'm going to reveal. To get the whole in-depth of this, you'll have to watch it. But I will, say some things. So, I mean, all in all, they're, going at it, and then he finally convinces him, and at this time, the older gentleman, that was the first meeting. The guy left and the guy came back. The second meeting got real heated. That's where he, pushed him on the floor. The first meeting, Malcolm pretty much got him out of there with, I don't know what you're talking about type thing. I think it's time for you to leave. All in all, what they did, this guy's wife and Malcolm, was just pretty much like a sham. And they were, I won't reveal what had happened, but Malcolm goes on to say that, this is the truth. And the older gentleman, the second round that this suited man comes seeing Malcolm, he was at the wife's house, their house, and he was talking to the lady and got the truth. Got home just at the end of their scuffle. That's when he pushed him on the floor and had done something to Malcolm. And he was getting all real, and then the older gentleman burst in, and this guy was getting on the edge. And who knows what he was going to do. The older gentleman assured him that everything was all right. Nothing happened. He was getting ready to leave, and then Malcolm said, I'm going to tell you the truth. So, watch the movie, check it out. But what and why does this have anything to do with the 112 dirtbag? Because I think he felt like he was the man in the suit, portraying this sick fantasy with Maura Murray and finding out that she was going to meet someone at a motel because she's up and down New Hampshire looking for a place to stay. And if that person happened to be, tracking her, hell, how do you know if this man didn't even bug her? That is what this Mr. Olson reminds me of. An obsessed freak that would go the lengths of, getting that car bugged, getting the house bugged, something bugged where he can hear stuff, and following her all the way up to where she got in the accident and finally say, I got you. And feel like this man in the movie. And for whatever reason, he was going to take out anybody around Maura. And that's why that gentleman that got ran over and killed, maybe it was him. Portraying this movie, you're with my wife. You're going to go to the motel with my wife, and you think you're going to do this with my wife? Even though the story turned out with a good ending, but when you got a sick portrayal of a man and putting it together like this and then put it on his page for people to watch, that's what I think. Now I'm going to leave it with this, end it with this. And when I was a kid and I went to New York, it was 1982 into 1983. And back then I was with a group of kids. And I've even done this. There was a girl I liked. We all hung around, this group of kids, and this girl was in there. Yeah, I had a crush on her, whatever. Didn't ever end up dating her or nothing, getting to go out with her. I was 9 years old. One of them stupid, kid crushes. And why do I bring this up of portrayals in movies? And why do I think he portrayed this? It went so as far as kidnapping Murray, saying you're mine. Either killing her or hell, even maybe locking her away. I can't have you, nobody can have you. I mean, the movie don't portray that in the end, but when you got a sick, twisted mind, and I said, like I said, I wouldn't do that crap between raping, kidnapping. That's sick, disgusting, disturbing. But I did do something in portrayal of a movie, just to see if I can get the attention of this girl. And it was, the movie was The Outsiders. That was a huge hit back in 1983. And everybody I knew in New York at the time, Corning, New York, where I was living, all about that movie. So, me and the friends and the girl all gonna go out and play The Outsiders. We're all gonna get a character. And of course, everybody wanted to be Pony Boy. Pony Boy, I'm Pony Boy. No, I want to be Pony Boy. It was fucking wacky, man. And I wanted to be Pony Boy. I think I ended up being either Tom Cruise or Patrick Swayze. And I just wanted to be Pony Boy. But there was this kid, no lie, had the bleach blonde hair. He had blonde hair and so forth. And, oh, he's Pony Boy. You gotta be this guy. I'm like, wow. And at the time, man, don't get me wrong, I think it was Patrick Swayze. I love Patrick Swayze. He's another great actor. Very ass-kicking dude. Well, I don't want to be him. I was all peed off. I want to be Pony Boy because the girl liked Pony Boy. The girl liked Pony Boy. And she was all over this kid. And I was like, oh, wow, well, looks like I'm out of that one. And they're all goofing around, doing scenes or whatnot. And of course, we didn't go do rumbles or nothing, but it was like the girl was the dating the guy thing. And they're like, oh, wow, I wanted to do that. And I don't want the friggin', the crush or something stupid, but whatever. But see the portrayal Use a movie to get somebody. Or use a movie to make yourself look good. Like this. That's what I think. And if this is this comment of this guy holding up to someone else or whoever, keep your eye on me all you want. Because you ain't gonna put no fear in me. There is very few things that I fear. And a lot of them ain't serial killers. One of them ain't serial killers, nor someone gonna intimidate me to shut my mouth. But all in all, that's what I think about this movie and why it's on his page, in his playlist. Portrayal of something. You know, bringing that woman to that motel. He's got to feel superior like this man. Get up over Malcolm, and they even threw a knife at Malcolm and he tried catching it. And cut his hand, and, you know, this guy was ready to look like he was a pounce and stab him for what he have done. But didn't go that way. Watch the movie. Check it out. Them are my thoughts and theories why this is on his playlist. Now it'll bring me to the next two. So let me know what you think of that. Because the motels are the key in this. And I'm about to wonder if the room numbers have anything to do with the numbers he's got mapped up and stuff too. Because if he portrays something like this and goes more further in, unlike this guy, he didn't kill nobody. But when you have a sick, demented mind watching this and just go further in the movie, maybe that person that killed Maura Murray was disappointed and thinks this woman should be punished for what she had done to make me think this in the movie. All about betrayal, all about sickness in the mind. That's mentalism. And that's what people like this do. And you gotta remember, they got on TV, and this is where I'll end it. It's called Copycat Murders. Just think about it. Someone watching something to portray something just like this. You touched my woman. I need to talk to you. All this movie will tell you and show you and reveal to you. And I think whoever killed Maura Murray, use this movie for that. Or he's using it for sympathy. That it's just an illusion that everybody's thinking it's him. Till that next video, be safe, take care, beware. Out.